If you're an empath, there are three distinct phases that you're going to go through in your lifetime. In this video, I'm going to lay out the three phases and you can figure out where it is that you are right now. Plus, if you stay to the end, you'll understand how the third phase transcends into something that not a lot of people are going to be capable of achieving. And I'll tell you why. The first phase is characterized by loving without boundaries, without limits, without caution. In this first phase, yeah, you're naive, you're young, you're innocent. Well, you're also quite bold and brave. But the thing is that you have a fear of abandonment that you may not have recognized yet at this stage, and a fear of rejection that's leading you to become a people pleaser and maybe even a martyr. So can I call this first phase the people pleasing phase, the codependency phase? Absolutely. You don't even know that you're this empath, but you do know that you've been taking on the feelings of other people like they're your own. And what that does is it makes other people's problems feel like your own. Therefore, their problems become yours that you need to fix. And this can go on for quite a while. You can be quite oblivious to this. And one of the causes is being parentified as a child, being made to feel responsible for your parents' well-being and emotional well-being. So it's just naturally embedded in you to be this caretaker of sorts, to put other people's priorities and other people's needs ahead of your own. You come last. What you need and who you are is forgotten. And as I mentioned, although very unaware, are these hidden wounds that you carry with you: the fear of abandonment and the fear of rejection, which is why you better keep doing what other people want you to do. Otherwise, they will leave you. They will reject you. And that feels terrible. But what you're doing in the meantime is you're abandoning yourself. You are rejecting yourself, but you have no understanding of how any of that works. It's likely that this is the time where the empath will enter the relationship with the narcissist. It is also during this time where the empath will feel a lot of sorrow, a lot of pain, which leads them to phase 2. Now, the second phase is brought on by something called the dark night of the soul. But this one is unlike any other that you have had. This one may seem like it is just a permanent state, a long depression period that is characterized by rest and recovery, that leads you to discover your shadow. It leads you to realize how you were operating from these wounds and why. You're challenging all of the conditioned beliefs that you've been operating by. You're now having to install a completely new operating system. Everything that you once knew before is being questioned, is being scrutinized. Everything that you once knew about yourself is falling apart. It's a very dark time. You still are operating from the remnants of pleasing others. It's still giving you some purpose, but you know that that's not the answer. This will go on for years. You may look to be functioning from the outside, but what's going on inside is a lot of darkness, is a lot of questioning, is a lot of uncertainty, is a lot of doubt. And after years of reflection, you reshape your view of the world. It becomes more clearer. It becomes more aligned. It becomes more aligned with those glimmers of how you used to see the world before. The one that was very hopeful and optimistic, compassionate and accepting. And now you reevaluate your empathic nature. This is where a lot of people feel that being an empath is the curse. But now you realize that it's not being an empath that is the curse. It is your fear of abandonment that turns into that realization that you have been abandoning yourself. And so it's like you have woken up. There is an awakening, but you still feel very heavy. There still is a lot of darkness from what you have uncovered. They say the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And so it can take a while for you to get your bearings. This is a time when a lot of people will reach out for therapy, for coaching, This is the time when people will pick up these books and start reading fervently to find out the truth about themselves and who they are, as that looming question of who am I is ever present. And then these books become just references to the work that you have done, reminders of the lessons that you have learned. Because then the third phase that you enter is empowerment. You now understand the importance of not only setting boundaries, but what a boundary even is. Boundaries are not about telling other people what to do. Boundaries are not having control over how other people are going to treat you. You figured that out during your dark night period. Boundaries are about how you are being as a person, how you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, it's impossible for other people to disrespect you. It's the notion of understanding other people don't betray me. I betray myself. No one abandons me or rejects me. I do that to myself. The self is empowered now. The self has been reclaimed. You understand that your empathic nature is more than just your feelings that you have and compassion that you have for other people. And that is a key factor in this empowerment, because you may move into this empowerment from a false sense. You may move into it without a care for other people, but only yourself, because that's the complete opposite from where you had been responding to life before. But we're not about going from one extreme to another. This is a middle path. And if you've gone to the extreme, there's only one other place that it can lead you, is back to the other extreme before you can come back to the middle. So being in the third phase may not last for very long, depending on your understanding and how you got there. Being in this third phase may easily kick you out and put you back into the second, because you still have more to learn. But if you are fully rooted and fully grounded in your empowerment, and you know exactly what that means, you can no longer be manipulated or exploited by other people. Because if you've been listening, you do that to yourself. You understand that this was all part of your own self-sabotaging behavior. Your naive ways from your past are now understood and honored with kindness and compassion for yourself. You no longer seek perfection in anything. And you no longer seek pain either. Now, from there, where can you move into? Because it seems to be a very blissful and powerful place. And so many will just stay there. And some may actually be spiritually bypassing the process. And you have to know the difference, because if you've been spiritually bypassing, you'll be asking yourself, why do I keep getting kicked back to phase 2? Once you have securely achieved this third phase, what lies ahead is inevitable. There's no going back. If you do go back, that's just an illusion that you catch yourself in. That's just a little reminder from your past of where you're not going. Because where you are going beyond phase 3 is something that nobody talks about. For those true spiritual seekers, not just someone who is trying to recover from being a people pleaser or codependency. Because empaths, as you may call yourself, have spiritual gifts to unlock. You have a unique mission and purpose here on earth. And it is not to take care of other people. It is to take care of yourself. And then you indirectly have an impact on others. You are a role model for what it means to be an empowered empath. You are uplifting your own conscious vibration. And in doing so, you uplift the collective vibration of the earth and its people. that are here. And only a few are going to have an opportunity and a chance to encounter this, because this is a phase that is reserved for those who have done the work and are granted their next mission. And I spoke about this to a certain degree in my last video, being the void, living in the void, becoming the void. And it's a sense of living in between worlds, in between realities. Because when you're in the third phase, you might think that's it. That's it. That's all, I did it. But you haven't, especially if you keep getting kicked back to phase 2. But while you're in phase 3, you will be faced with a sense that there's something else waiting for you. There's still something left to be done, but it's not your own personal work anymore. It's how your personal work is now going to transcend into the bigger picture of the universe. And that can be very subtle, but there needs to be a recognition of that purpose that you're now here for. It might feel like you're stepping into another dark night of the soul, but this one is different. You know it is. This is not another dark night. It may feel like a void, but it's the in-between. And it's waiting for you to accept. It's waiting for you to have the awareness of, where does empowerment naturally lead one to step into next? And where you're stepping into next is naturally another dimension. You hear people talking about the third dimensional reality, which the majority of people here on planet Earth are living in, the survival mode. Above that is the fourth and fifth and beyond dimensional realities. What do you think is happening to your physical body as you've done the spiritual healing, as you've done the emotional and mental healing on all the cells of your body? Your neuroplasticity has been rewired. What kind of energy do you think you are now transmitting? It's not the same energy that is being transmitted from those lower levels that you once used to be at. There is an acclimation period that you will have to kind of get used to. Being empowered doesn't mean all your problems are over, but it's how you handle the challenges. And the way in which you handle the challenges now, which is sometimes no response. Beyond empowerment is the silence, is the quiet, is the non-action, the non-striving, the non-doing, and just being. And for some people, that's very difficult to do, because they must always be doing or seeking or striving or accomplishing, which is why the fourth phase is very difficult to come to. And not a lot of people will, because it's not for everyone. Some empathic people will spend their entire lives in phase 1. They will die a people pleaser. They will make that their entire identity and celebrate themselves for it. Others will die in phase 2. They will be miserable. They will be confused. They will be living in the shadows of their doubts. Others will pleasantly leave this earth from phase 3. And that is enough. And then there are others who have transcended the third phase. They have gone somewhere that not a lot of people go. And it's really difficult to talk about. It's really difficult to describe. And you may still be in between the fourth and the third. You know the fourth is calling you. You are being called up to the next level. Whereas some people in the third, they might not get the call. They don't hear it. They stay there, and it's fine. But there are some that will surpass the fourth and maybe even move into a fifth phase on their empathic journey. These are things that are characterized by being a very powerful manifester of your reality. It is just a part of who you are. It is something that you have become. You have a sense of oneness with everything. You have a sense of being able to transmute the negativity into a positive or even neutral energy. And remember what I was saying about your energetic structure, your cellular structure that you have been reshaping over all of these decades. You are now emitting a very different energy than other people are. If this was the face that you were showing people before, they would naturally cling to you, hang on to you. They're very attracted to you. But if you started to show them the other side of your face, there is this repulsion. There is no attraction. They don't get that close to you anymore. There's a force field in between that's preventing you from coming together. But maybe if this person changed their energy and they started to show a different side, they would automatically be part of your same force field. But most people, now that you have changed your energetic structure, they're not. Moving into the fourth phase is not something people are going to talk about, because talking means doing. And yes, I'm here talking about it right now in my YouTube video. But when I go out there, not having conversations with people about that, I'm keeping that to myself. Who I am is sacred. My energy is sacred. The work that I'm here to do is sacred. Part of that work is creating videos like this and talking to you about these different phases that you're going to go through, that I've been through. And then you're going to write in the comments where you are right now, what your experience has been. Other people are going to read about your experience. Other people are going to see that, wow, other people are having the same experience that I'm having. And that means something. We are creatures who seek meaning in our own experiences that can only be done through interaction with other humans. You are going to meet people who are at different phases of their life. There are some that will not ever be a people pleaser. And those people are on different life paths. But I don't make videos about those people. I make videos for people like you. Go figure. Be somebody who is so caring and loving and compassionate for other people that that's going to set you up for a little bit of a challenging path forward. But that's all part of the path. For the empath to reach a state of empowerment and beyond.